Now that you touched on the planting of trees again, looks like this one of your strong areas, your forte, I shall say. Let me also pick your mind on this particular issue, the Shamba System. I know it has died down a bit, but it was one of those things that really caused quite the conversation there the time the Deputy President talked about this. And this has been a system that is not a new system, actually. It has been there since time immemorial. I think even since we got independence, but different regimes bringing it, removing. It was finally removed during the reign of Kibaki, and we've been that way up until when it was just mentioned by the Deputy President. But then one would argue that it's kind of a good system, kind of a bad system, depending on where you want to sit. Also looking at the effects of drought, you could benefit in terms of food, and also benefit in terms of, you know, growing trees to curb effects of climate change. What would you say in respect to this, and also as you address that, in terms of policies, what can we do?
Yeah, so with this issue of Shamba System, it is very interesting because it depends on where you sit. And it can be good or bad, but now it depends on, you know, the policies and the regulations that are there. If we have really good policies and regulations that are enforced, you know, I think the issue is enforcement, because we can have rules, we can have regulations, we can have policies, but if it is not enforced in the right manner, then it is not a good system. Then it becomes a good system. For example, the Shamba System, if we can, yes, allow the local people to access the forest to plant crops, how sure are you that they will not get into the forest and cut the trees and, you know, burn charcoal, for example? How will you regulate that? I think that is the most important thing that we need to also put in mind, that if we are allowing community, for example, to do these plant crops, and they can, you know, after 2 years, definitely the trees will chase them away. But now, how sure are you that they will not touch the forest? You can have rangers on site, for example. You can have rangers there manning the site, but we are all humans. How sure are you that I will not give you as a ranger like 500 shillings to allow me to, you know? So those are the things we need to look into before we can, you know, allow a certain system, you know, to take place. So I think the government also needs to, you know, regulate and ensure that we have enforcement. If people know that there are real penalties, if you go against the rules that are there, and there are huge penalties on that, and you've seen it, somebody has been, you know, fined millions of money for doing that, then you're not going to do it. So it's on the enforcement part. If they can enforce those policies, those regulations, then it can be a good system.